Ejay's podcast. Let's go. Welcome, Ejay's podcast. We're in the building. Oh my goodness, I want to first say thank you to everyone who's been streaming the episode. Last episode did really well. Spotify, we're up. YouTube views, we're up. Subscribers, we're up. I should be shouting out the ladies who were on the episode last time, but it'll be, I don't want to trigger my men that are sitting here today because they promised that this episode will be even better. So let me not say anything. But before we go into that, I want to shout out our sponsors, Oscar Yarvelin. Thank you for sponsoring us. Please remember to check the link. You get 50% off, 20% off, depending on what you want. But you can contact them today for recording of your podcast, your music, and so on and so forth. Oscar Yarvelin, please check out our sponsors. This is your highly favored host, Ejay. I'm in the building, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the big guns. The big guns. Unfortunately, some of them are Arsenal fans, so I can't really, you can see they're showing their logo. Oh my goodness. Today I'm with the big man them. You know what? I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves. To my left, Mr. P, what's going on, buddy?
Everywhere good.
Everywhere good.
Everywhere good.
All right, you can hear the typical Nigerian man. He say everywhere good. And I have the man himself. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. The man said, yeah. Damio is in the building. Dr. Damio, of course, has been on a couple of episodes before. So he's not a stranger to this. Thank you for coming, my brother. How you feeling today, Dami?
I'm feeling good. Let's get it on.
Ready to...
Lukaku.
Man,
Peter, you cannot say it because you yourself, you haven't been to
not
training.
5 minutes into this.
You
You
are
are
not-
attacking me.
You haven't been to training, so you can't say this.
Wow.
No, but in all honesty, in the morning training that we have on Saturdays, Dami has been playing really well.
Okay, is that...
Man, I've been in.
I've not been
Fortunately, he's been with the winning team.
Even with
the last,
one leg.
Okay.
The last two
time I
trainings.
was there, I was basically the commentator. And
Yeah, you remember?
Yeah, you
He
saw.
scored a goal.
You had
He
my
did score a
highlight
goal.
actually. So check your phone. You have my highlight.
And to my far left over there.
Yes.
Hey.
Top 9.
Yes.
Injury.
He said top 9.
He had to.
This guy
You know
came
what
to
it
one
is?
football session, only one training. After 1 year, he got injured and he's gone again for another 6 months. So
No, come
we
on,
are
come
praying
on.
for quick
I'm coming on
recovery.
Saturday again.
Gabriel Jesus.
No. You watch out for me on Saturday.
He
You know
said
how
he's
we
coming
do it.
back on Saturday.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I have one of the top agents in Finland. He's a football agent, Korede Akumi. Welcome to the episode. You've been on one episode before, I remember.
Yeah,
I think we had one episode with Marco, the other
Yes, I
friend of
think-
ours.
Musa was there too, I think.
It was me, you, and Musa, right?
And,
I think
Austin, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We
yes,
had that
yes,
was like
yes.
2-3 years ago.
That was the first episode actually.
No,
it?
it was a second. Third episode. Yeah, because we had the one with Austin, and then where was the first episode, remember? And the second episode was the women.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I had Tobo and Essay, and I think Oju was there too. Yeah, and then the third episode was with you guys. But happy to be here again. Welcome, guys. Welcome. How have you guys been, man? How have you guys been? Of course, I see you guys
Chilling.
on a regular basis, but it's still important to ask how you've been.
we did.
Mr. P, you live, I think you live like an hour away from here.
Yeah, just about an hour, 20 minutes.
How's the village life treating you?
Well,
Cool.
What did you say?
when you asked me,
Cool,
so
lah.
let me...
Yeah. You live an hour away from here. You live in the village.
The
Man,
village-
expect
the
a lot of bands today, yeah?
The village is proud to have me.
Yes, we know.
I'm a beacon of light, you know.
You're a beacon of light in the village.
Yeah, and I'm proud.
Okay, but you're here every other day.
Yeah, because sometimes you have to reconnect with your roots.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I go recharge, come back.
Do we have a big? We do, of course. I'm sure we have a bigger community of Africans here in Oulu.
Yeah.
I mean, before we start, what do you guys think? Is the community? How is it growing?
In Oulu.
Yeah, because I realize that if as much
Question.
as we have a lot of new people, we also have people who are leaving the city, who are moving out of the city. but somehow it seems that it's growing quite
So
big.
how do you measure that?
Well,
growing
first
process.
population, right?
Or in terms of if we look at age wise,
Mm,
we are growing
okay,
like with the kids.
right.
But with the adults, we have a lot of people going out.
Who are moving out?
But if you look, if we have to count the kids, yeah.
That's true.
So
There's a lot of,
the fertility rate is.
Listen, feel like you've allowed us. We heard one time that the birth rate was low. So
Yeah.
we reported people to come and start giving birth. So please don't say you're tired of us now. We have just started. Some people are targeting 7, some 8. I remember there was a story about this this man. I don't remember what country he's from, but I think it was back in Kayani, and he had 36 kids.
What?
Yeah, he had 36 kids. I think he came with 6. There were 6 wives, but he brought them as sisters or something like that.
Wow.
So eventually they caught up with him, and this man was milking the system.
Are
Bro.
we allowed to say Baltazar?
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound like something we should be
Wow.
saying.
36 kids.
What are you talking about?
36 kids.
Are you talking about bazaar, like
Don't let me-
market? buying?
The marketplace.
Don't let me elaborate.
Okay.
Those who know.
Until-
know.
36 kids.
On to the next.
But interestingly, most of us are family men. Do you think a lot of kids in a country like Finland?
Yeah, but then like you said, he came with 6 wives also.
Yeah, so what I think, if I remember the story correctly, he was bringing them. He had a wife. They came together with a wife. Yeah, so he was bringing them as his sisters.
Okay.
But because he's from the Muslim faith or something like that, so they were actually his wives.
He could afford
Okay.
6.
So 6 wives, and bro, I'm sure the people who actually caught up with him will have been shocked to their teeth. Like, what's
6
this?
times 6.
That's not sustainable.
6 wives or
And,
kids?
you know,
36
this age
children.
now, you need time for the kids, and if you have 36, does he even know all their names?
That's another.
Man, with I have 2 right now, man. And, you know,
And you can sometimes.
and I think the padlock is there. Pop.
Oh, no more for you.
Come on.
No
you're
more
kidding.
for you. I think
kidding.
Cora is
Cora-
still
yeah,
is
Cora-
still
Cora is in the
attempting to
beat.
go more.
Yeah,
P, you've got one,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Are you willing to? How many more do you think you wanna?
When I get married,
Oh, so you're looking at marriage, right?
of course now. Who know,
Speaking of, you know what?
Oh, that's good to hear.
As much as we want to talk about sport, it's good that you mentioned this. So you're married right now, right?
when
Let's not get into your personal issues, but I asked the ladies last time who came here,
Yeah.
and there was this conversation about bringing a spouse or actually
Getting one
marrying
here.
someone from here.
Okay.
So from your own point of view, and of course I would like to
Yeah,
hear
so-
you guys' opinion, but from your own point of view,
I said I'm coming for you guys.
what would be? See, we're starting hot, right? I didn't mean for us to get into this right now, but since Peter
saw it.
mentioned that, I just wonder from your own, what do you feel about that?
Life in itself is interesting,
Right.
as well as individuals
Mm.
being different in various forms and kind of choices.
That's true. That's true.
Some say there is luck. Some say there's opportunity meeting hard work.
Mm.
Anything could happen.
Right.
Would it be easier to get a spouse here? Most definitely. Financially, culturally.
It'll be easier,
Yeah,
culturally even.
it would be easier to get one.
No,
here.
now, not talking about the specifics of where the person is from.
There's no
Whether
matter.
yeah. So I mean, you mentioned culturally. I was just wondering if you're talking about like So I'm talking from the place of. Let's leave the Finns out now.
Mhm.
You meet an African lady who's here, who lives here, who's going to.
Okay.
That's the part because I think that's the part that is missing.
If you specify to meeting an African,
Yes. Would you rather bring someone from home or
get
bring
married
someone
from
here who's been in the system?
I'm going to answer the question in 2 phases.
Okay.
If you specify to being an African,
Right. And what's your
If that-
answer?
if
Just
the-
in case you
yeah,
have
yeah,
someone
yeah.
here who's already
Nah,
looking at.
if I have someone here who's looking at me, you should understand that being real.
Yeah, that's important.
it's
also
one of
to
the
be.
things you
Yeah,
should
being
look out
honest is
for.
also very
I shouldn't
important.
say because I'm on camera, I should pretend.
That's true.
or
That's
say
true.
things
You
that
gotta,
please
you gotta
Facts
be
only,
honest
facts
with
only.
yourself. Right.
So the thing is, meeting an African here,
Mm.
there's also the mentality of Africans. If you, for instance, now your kids, they'll definitely have the mentality as well as growing up here.
Right.
So
So
it's,
to make
it's,
sure.
it's advantageous for them to grow up here and still have that mentality, doggedness,
Right.
compared to an African you meet here who is missing one parent,
Mm,
a white and a black. The mentality is also different.
very true.
Or an African whose parents were born here, never went home.
That's a totally different ball game too.
Okay.
So you see, there are different
Yeah,
kinds
the
of
different levels.
But some of them are actually interested. Some people they've taken it upon themselves to go and
To look for their
search
roots,
for-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
those kind of
Find
people, they are
out stuff, yeah.
interested in learning something
Yeah,
new.
finding out where they
So
from.
when you meet someone here, you have to learn how to adjust.
Mm.
Not just even meet somebody here. Even if you go back home, are you saying you're trying to go back home to bring somebody you can be a man over?
So that's, now I think that's the bone of contention. And that's where the women were coming from the previous episode when they were talking about, in most cases, because I think I did a little bit of research and there's been high number of divorces happening between men who actually went back home to bring a spouse, especially in the UK area.
Yeah.
There's been a high. So I just wonder, because the women were from the opinion that, okay, you know what, usually when men do that, they want to boss her around, they want to kind of, manage that. I just wonder what you guys, Dami, for example, what's your take on that? What do you think about that whole situation?
It's an epidemic in UK.
It is.
Yeah. But my opinion on this is you can meet anybody anywhere.
Mm.
Fact.
You see people meeting online,
Right.
meeting at maybe events, and
Mm.
so I wouldn't say ideally you should go back home or this way.
Right.
That way, yeah.
When you see the person, you will know definitely. But with the people around me here, I know how they treat their wives, or
Right.
so the mentality has to be right.
Mm. From the
You
man.
don't- you-
No, but
No, you hear from our wives, okay, thank God for my husband,
Right.
for
Mhm.
staying with the kids,
Doing all
taking
these
care
and
of
that.
taking care of the kids and
Right.
all this stuff. So, the mentality is there. If you are not ready to leave that mentality of you want to be the man in the house,
Mm. That
and
African man,
unless-
fragile ego,
so unless you want
isn't it?
your wife to be a full-time housewife, which is not possible, you're just going to make her depressed.
It
And then
won't
you're going
work.
to get broke.
Mm.
Because when
Because
the
now
bills
all
come,
your income will be going towards
when,
that.
when the bills coming, then
Right.
baby, you need to go out and do something. So
Mm.
the first thing is the mentality, as Peter mentioned. If your mentality is archaic,
Mm.
man, you are going to suffer. And don't get married. Don't get married. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you cannot take the same thing from a Finnish girl that you think, then you don't do it to the other African lady. So
Fact. I
the
think
main
that's
thing
very
is
important.
it has to be the same thing. You have to have that mentality, and because she also understands your mentality. If she's an African, then you guys have to work out and make a balance based on that. But if you are expecting to be a village chairman that you
Champion
want to
and
go
all
and
that.
bring, it's not going to work, and it's going to be a lot of problems. And because you guys have not been dating, you are going back home. You
Right.
don't understand each other.
Right.
And when the woman comes there, she understands her rights and everything. And in Finland, women have a lot of power. So,
Just know that coming from a man,
lot of
who
power.
knows a lot of power.
Yeah.
But I want,
can I add something?
yeah, you were
to
gonna
that?
say something.
If you meet a lady on the road or you're approaching an office
Yes.
and there's a beautiful lady there and the name of who you're going to look for supposedly is a big person and you get in, it's a lady, do you respect her or not?
Right.
So now,
right.
if you are going into her space, you have to give her respect.
Mm-hmm.
So now imagine you're lucky enough to have that kind of woman to be your wife. Will you now say because she's now your wife, you disrespect her? I believe you should treat people with a lot of respect. Man or woman.
So if my wife is earning twice as I am, man, glory be to God.
It's,
I don't have any issue, man.
that's all. That's all.
I
What
don't
else
have
do you
any
want?
issues.
What else do you want?
So you are a
But-
lucky man. Oh.
But I want. But
I'm prophesying that she
yeah,
should
I
be earning
hoping.
twice as I do.
So now, now
That'd be really
that's some.
cool.
I think, and maybe Cora, you could speak to this. I think that's where the problem is because as Africans, we cannot deny that there's this. Maybe it's a cultural thing.
Cultural ego.
Yeah, there's this cultural ego where if a man brings a woman, for example, he wants to police her, he wants to be the one to direct her, he doesn't want her to really go and explore and then figure out things on her own and all that. how do you balance that? And I think that's why most people will say, you know what, look for somebody here. Maybe that person can match you because the person knows the system. Now you cannot really tell them, don't go there, don't do this, because the person probably have been here for years as well. So that's something that I kind of still, try to understand.
I mean, Dami actually said it's important for you to know who you're getting married to.
Right.
So the point of contact is not really the biggest challenge. You can meet anybody anywhere.
Right.
But then what are the conversations you're having?
Yeah.
If you plan to spend the rest of your life with somebody,
Mm.
you need to know this person. They
Very
need to
much.
know you.
Very
Right.
much.
There has to be like common goals and common values.
Yeah.
Now, if the person says, okay, like marriage will be tough,
Mm.
but we will be together.
Right.
Right. You know that marriage will be tough, but you will be together. Then you start I'm discussing those things.
Right.
Babe, you are in Nigeria, I'm in Finland.
Mm.
Right. In Nigeria, I understand that you expect that, okay, me as the man will pick all the
Oh,
bills.
yeah.
You as the woman, you're like that.
Right.
If you're coming here, it's different.
Mm.
Right. If you're coming here, I'm not going to boss over you.
Right.
Right. I'll help with the children.
Mm.
We do things together. My money is our money.
Right.
Your money is our money.
I don't
Right.
think African men want to
Right.
hear that. My
Right.
money is our
Right.
money.
Your
Your money
is our
That's
money.
where the
My
problem
money
is. At.
is
I
our
think
money.
that's-
Right. Because then, like,
Our
like,
money is our money.
you know, like in the UK, for example,
Right.
like we see all these things. Oh, you brought somebody from Nigeria, and then the next thing, like they're breaking up.
Right.
Because then, when you now look at the kind of conversations that they've
That
had,
they're having.
sometimes they don't even discuss these things. The woman is coming with that mentality that I'm Odogu's
Yeah,
Odogu
a wife. So he's
Right.
gonna take care of me. and all.
Odogu is there like, okay, you have to do this.
Yeah, you also
have to
need
do
to
this.
help. Yeah.
Now, I think in Canada or something, people now kind of cage their wives. That you even in Finland, I know people that you will never see their wives with people.
That's very
Right?
but
You will
like,
never ever see their wives with people.
How long does it take you to actually integrate in that part where you're
Yeah,
open
because
and
the guy is scared that okay, somebody would now advise my wife,
give her
against
information?
Me. Man, my wife is everywhere. She's in the news. She's doing things.
Doing a lot of things.
I'm not bothered. Right, because like my ego, my life is not about. In fact, my wife moving forward is a
It
big
should
thing
be a
for me.
thing
right?
of joy for you.
Like sometimes I ask myself that what is actually important for you that you really want your wife to just be indoors. You want to work all day, kill yourself,
Yeah.
just because
what's
you want to
the
provide.
point? What's the point of
Man,
that?
I will gladly take care of my children if you bring you the money. Go and bring all the money for me, man.
I like
Right.
Do you understand? So I think it's about finding that common goals, finding that common values, and having that conversations, especially before getting into it. I think one thing I noticed is that people are usually scared to have that conversations.
Right. That's true.
So they don't want to hurt each other.
Then why are you getting married?
But the point is, if
Some
you don't have
conversations
that
are difficult
conversation
to have.
before marriage,
most time the foundation is bad.
yes,
I think that's
Foundation at
really
which
weird.
they
That's what it
decide
boils down
conversation
to.
and everything is
Exactly.
That
bad
was it
already.
boils down to.
And if you don't solve that, man, we have the
You'll
issue
fight.
with Nigeria and our foundation is bad. The country
Yeah.
foundation is bad.
Yeah.
Unless we go back to it, then it continues. So the same thing with marriage. If the foundation is bad,
Or sometimes
it was
as a result of fake life, like you. Every time you appear in Nigeria, you're the big boss. You're the good big money spender.
Well, that's also.
but when you're getting married to someone, you have to keep it real. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
That's a good
now.
point, Peter.
So if we flip it the other way, where
Yes.
the woman actually has brought the man,
yes.
how
Yeah,
easy
you-
is it for the man to actually let the woman lead?
I think
That's a good
it's the same.
question
It's a
also.
very good question because you asked it to ladies, and their point is valid.
Would he actually
I
really let them lead?
actually heard this one yesterday. A man's ego is as big as an elephant, but as fragile as an egg.
That's
So
man,
That's deep.
clip that. Yeah.
so when first of all, she has to know who you are before she go get you. I think if a woman goes home and bring a man, and if she's of high value in a society,
Caliber.
women hardly marry down. They marry up. So for the fact that by location,
You're already beneath.
he could be a big boy in Nigeria,
But
when he gets here,
he has to submit. Yeah.
his resources are limited. So
That's
it's like
true.
he's starting.
Afresh.
Yeah.
But if she forgets who he was before he came here, that's where there'll be problem.
So how does the man? So in that case, because most times that's usually the situation where the guy, regardless of who he is back home, what he's doing, the fact that the woman has aided him moving here to so-called greener pasture.
Can I add to what I was saying before? If you're a man of vision, your change of location changes nothing. I think it should expose you to new opportunities. Only it will take time.
Right.
So the fact that your wife made that opportunity happen, we are humans. Those times will come, especially in marriage. But your vision should still be your vision. You should look for a way to get there instead of focusing on she's suppressing. Let people say what they want to
So
say.
that's
Your
now
vision
I
should
think
take
that's
you
the
forward.
part that becomes very difficult. Because even, I mean, I would like to myself, I thought about it a lot after the last episode with the ladies that imagine if a woman actually aided you coming here. It will take a lot of,
Patience.
you really have to really
Change
kill
your
your
orientation,
pride.
yeah.
Because so many things, there are so many decisions that you have to make. What are we buying? Where are we going? What are we doing? At least for the first year or something like that. So you find your ground. So I wonder, as African men, how do you guys think, maybe for people who might find themselves in situations like that now, or maybe even in the future, how do you think, what would be the advice, on a situation like that?
Don't come.
It's actually difficult to advise because I think if you are secluded away from the other people, if you don't see the way other people are doing, it may get very difficult for you. So and there comes orientation. You have to orientate them based on what is valid here, because you are coming from Africa.
Totally
You
different.
know how it works there. You cannot take a maid unless you are.
You gotta be your own.
Yes.
So when we had our first child, maybe the nurse, because of maybe she thinks, okay, African maid.
They'll be telling you to do all those
I'm
things.
looking forward to this.
right. I'm excited.
So these are something that maybe are different back home.
Right.
When you give birth, you have everybody at your house and everything. It's different here. You have to do many things. You have to change diaper. You have to wake up midnight, go and warm the milk and all these things. So these are some of the things that you have to do.
Right.
And if you are not broken to help your marriage or help your woman who is going through a difficult time after.
Totally, yeah. So after
they
birth.
go through different things, postpartum, depression and all these things, then you are not going to have a happy marriage.
Right.
So you have to, the orientation. I don't know how. That's why I said
that's gonna work. Yeah. How you gonna get that? Yeah.
Because you are in a different system, and if you don't have the information, or you don't have how people relate and see other families and everything, then you may want to. So I think we can help them. You can you see the flailings that but there are ways that you can help the person, like, guy, this is how you need to do this.
That's where the community
because you're in a new place where it's different, and what applies back home does not apply
here.
And if you don't already have the mentality, personally, I have the mentality that I was looking forward to many of these things. Like, I don't want my wife to be doing.
Yeah.
I don't want her to be doing this. I don't want that because I don't want at 40 years old and you're looking 50 years old. Then it doesn't.
You're looking like a weekend.
So these are some of the things that will help the marriage on the long term.
He's a Finnish citizen, so you can say all this.
No, SSS, they wait for you.
Now you talk about.
Speaking of that, all right. Now, speaking of that, I think what you said is important, and I think that's where the community values come in. Recently, I was told, I don't know, there was a conversation about migration. And I think now you can see everybody's trying to flee the country. Yeah. Like, not only Nigeria, many African, because everybody's looking for greener pastures here and there. But then when you speak to the locals who are like maybe Finns or even Americans, British people, French people, for example, they will say, I mean, how much can we take? How much can we take? What is your take on that? Like, what responsibility do we have as a people when it comes to situations like that? Because of course, everybody can say, oh, they're racist. They don't want to let us in. Why, it shouldn't be that difficult. But in actuality, when we actually sit back, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. Cora, what's your take on that? You being somebody who actually deals with a lot of, foreigners, to say, if so to speak.
I mean, people actually pay a lot to come here. like if you look at the statistics,
Right.
you have higher percentage of people actually paying a lot to come
To
here.
come here. True.
Tuition fee is not free in Finland.
Mm.
It's in tens of thousands.
Right.
Right. So you cannot be angry at people coming
Mm.
and not be angry at their money.
Right.
Right.
Very good point.
Right. I understand that
Good point.
you're dealing with something new.
Mm.
Like you're dealing with seeing new people.
Right.
But I think the biggest problem here is education.
Mm.
That people are not really educated about the process of those who are coming.
To come in, yeah.
During this Brexit period,
Mm.
you know, there's this propaganda that yes, they're coming to the UK to get our jobs and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, and all that.
And then now, when you start looking at it,
They are suffering, man.
bro, as a student going to the UK, you pay a lot.
So much.
Even though you're paying so much, you are restricted to a lot of things.
Mm.
Going to the NHS, you have to pay.
Right.
But they are selling it to the people as if
As if
people are
they're-
getting
yeah,
it for
they're
free.
taking everything
they are
for
coming,
free,
they
yeah.
are-
Right.
So I
Right.
think when people are actually educated about what it takes to come here,
Mm.
as a student, for example, you write a lot of exams.
Yes.
You have interviews.
Yes.
You
Before
pay
you,
tuition fee.
so
now,
many processes.
Now, like when we came, it was free to study.
Mm.
Then after a while, they introduced tuition fee.
Yeah.
They were giving like 50% scholarship.
Right.
Now, no more scholarship. in
So
most
you have to
things.
pay your full tuition fee
So,
now
man, if somebody's paying 10,000,
to come here. To
A
study.
year.
Yes.
so it's not 10,000 too.
It's
So like if they're going to study here for 4 years, that's 40,000
Mm.
cash that they have to pay.
that they're going into the
In
system.
Naira, how much is that?
That's a lot.
I don't
That's a
know.
lot. We don't want to expose our Naira.
Do you understand? So now this person is paying 40,000
Mm.
in 4 years. They have to get accommodation.
Mm.
They are paying. They have to buy food. They are paying.
Mm.
So at the end of the day, students are not getting anything for free.
Mm.
Right. So if you are angry that they are here, you need to know that they actually made a lot of sacrifices to be here.
Mm.
Right. So now it's now time to actually go back to the table and say, okay, this guy that is bringing so much money, what are they doing for us?
Mm.
Then you look at it now that they are bringing money, they are bringing workforce, they are bringing labor, they are doing
so
everything.
many things.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the only problem that you have is to see their faces, man, get a shit. Right.
You want to say something more? to
Yeah,
that?
fact.
Very right. Very right.
You know, if people are coming here via legal immigration,
Mm.
that's perfect.
That's okay.
Because they are coming here and the process they went through vetted
The
them
right-
to know
right
these
process,
people can
yes.
fit into the system.
Right.
They have the abilities of things to do or
Right.
of what they can do in the
Mm.
economy. In my opinion, which may be controversial, the immigration I don't like,
Mm.
which I don't think anybody should encourage, is the illegal
Illegal
immigration.
immigration.
Yeah.
You cannot make your country porous. We made our country porous.
Mm.
You know, we had people coming from Mali, coming from
Different. Yeah.
Libya
Niger.
during those periods where
Right.
there was war in Libya.
Mm.
Most of them came to Nigeria. They brought all the ammunition
Yes.
because the border was porous.
Right.
And then we can see these consequences
The
now.
result. yeah.
Personally, legal immigration encourage that because
Yes.
you are bringing people that can help your economy.
Yes.
But when we now talk about illegal immigration,
It's a
it's
totally
a
different
total no. Because you are not vetting the people coming in.
Mm. You're not coming
You
to
can-
the right system, the right
Yeah,
channel.
you can't come into my home if I don't know who you are.
Yes.
I need to know who you are
You need
before
to
I
be
expose you
vetted,
to my
yes.
family.
Right.
So the same thing applies to a country.
Mm.
You cannot just open a country down, like allowing people to cross
come
over
to the
through
back door,
border.
yeah.
You know, these are some of the things that are going to be an issue
Mm.
long term.
Yeah.
It has to be. You have to vet them. If you think, okay, these people are fit to come in,
Yeah,
let
can
them
add,
come
they
in.
can add. Yeah.
That's fine.
Mm.
Legal immigration, that's perfect because you're trying to improve your workforce and
Right.
bring quality people in. So,
Right.
but illegal immigration, no.
No.
I'm
that's
against it.
that's a good point because I think it's important for people to hear this because most times we hardly hear from the African perspective. You know, of course, you read the news and people are complaining. When there's any headline about immigration and all
Yeah.
that, there's all negative.
it's-
What
it's
are
a
they-
sensitive
so it's
topic
good
now.
to hear that people actually are paid to be here.
Yeah.
People, are being vetted to be here.
Can
as you
I,
mentioned.
can I
Yes,
add
please.
to that? You
Yes,
know,
please.
like it's easy for MSM, mainstream media, to highlight or once in a while flash it in the face of people because
the immigration
majority of
scandal.
people believe everything the news
They
says.
read,
So
yeah.
if this same media houses decide to flash this kind of news, they should also highlight the fact
The
that
good things.
tuition fees for
Yes.
people coming into the country is this
10,000,
amount.
yeah.
So
10,000.
because if
10,000
people,
is
if people
much
know
now.
that
That's-
students are paying close to 15,000,
80
that's
million, 80
that's
million per
somebody's
year.
yearly income
Yes.
just to come to Finland and
Yeah.
study.
Yeah.
I think
Nobody's any.
No,
like,
I-
80
I-
million
I-
a year.
average-
80 million naira a
no, I
year.
mean,
No, I
in
mean in
Finland.
Finland.
Yeah, yeah,
in
that's
Finland,
true. That's true.
15,000
Yeah,
is a
almost
yearly
year,
income.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you're
if,
right.
if that's your yearly income and someone just paid that to come study in
To
Finland,
go
I think that
abroad.
person will be looked at with respect.
Right.
But if the mainstream
exactly.
media is not flashing the fact that people pay to get here, they make it seem as if we got here for free.
easily, and
Then they see you
That's-
like that.
I think that's very true. That's very true because, and again, that's why I said it needs to be highlighted more so that people know that there's actually a process that
Yeah.
people go through.
you know,
to
like
be
like
here.
someone.
People sold their houses,
Yeah,
sold their
Man.
houses, sold their land for them.
Yeah,
properties.
and like Peter said about the mainstream media, I think maybe like a couple of years ago, somebody asked me, "How did I get to Finland?"
They
I
still do.
was like, "What do you mean?"
well, why are you asking that?
Like, I mean, initially I didn't understand that question, and I was like, of course. We be playing. You said how was it in the desert? I was like,
If you went to the desert,
Papa, I can't do
you know they
desert.
get
Someone
surprised?
asked my wife,
the same question.
"Are you a refugee or
Yeah, how did you- that's the
how did
thing.
you come to feel like?"
Do you understand?
I've never experienced this before.
Oh.
But
Yes.
when he mentioned
Yeah.
it, now, I remember.
You remember that
Somebody
somebody
was
had
like, "How
asked
did you
that.
come? Are you like?"
So, like-
are this the only way?
Bro,
to
Yeah, because I
Now,
think that's
the-
the thing. As he said, the mainstream media,
the
they
media
highlighted that
don't-
that's the only
they
way.
just
that-
like
highlight
in
because people
Finland, that is like
digesting that.
what they're pushing. You come through the deserts and then you're getting Kela. But when you look at it,
Don't even go there.
bro, when you look at it, it's never like that.
It's no,
right
not at all.
Like
Actually, majority of people migrating are actually hardworking people.
no, so like when someone sees you outside and they're like, oh, their first perception
yeah.
is like, oh,
Is that you're here just collecting
so-
from the government?
oh, it's just
It's not
just
even up
taking
to
our
3
Kela.
weeks.
Hmm.
You know, like, you know how we are.
Right.
Like I said, that mentality, we're rugged, we're dogged. If we want to achieve, we go for
We'll
it.
find
Yeah.
it anyway.
We
anyhow.
look for the information we need and we go for it. So when they see the transition of you used to ride a bike in the snow,
All of a sudden you're
now
driving
you
a car.
switch to a car that's what about 24K or 40K. Someone actually told me, so you use your Kela money to be buying car.
Can you imagine?
I was so angry, but
Yeah, well, that's.
I told
so,
myself,
I mean, that's
Calm
why
down.
these kind of information are very, very important so that people will know, But also, I mean, we as much as we highlight the good things, we also have to advise some of the people who are coming new to also do the right thing.
Yeah.
What are some of the advice that we should be giving? Because I think in a place like this, information is key. A lot of time people come, and sometimes the mistake that people make when they just arrive are the mistakes that these people pick up and say, you know what, this is
Yes.
how all of them
These are
are.
the
100%.
So I think it's important that maybe one of you speak to things that do the right thing.
I think that's all they need to do.
Do the right thing.
Because if you do the right thing, then everything goes on.
Yeah, just do the right.
Just
When you
do the
come,
right thing
ask
and-
people, ask for information. Don't
And
be.
doing the right thing is in Nigeria terms is different.
Is-
Doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing in African terms is different from doing the
So you
right
need
thing.
to do the right thing.
The right thing. Go through the right
And-
channels.
And okay, if I may go,
Please.
let me advise. No, study the people. You understand them.
Right.
You don't want people to come to your own place and trash
And
on
then
your
just,
tradition or your culture.
Very correct.
Understand them. Understand
Right.
their culture. They are your like.
You are a guest. They're like your, how do you say?
They
People
are the
actually-
one who are taking you
Accommodating
in. Yeah,
you.
accommodating you.
Right, right.
So you are the guest.
Mm.
So you need to understand them, and then let me give you an example. I went to UK, and it seems so different to me. Like,
What's going on
what's
here?
going on there? Like, because after many years, you
you've
just
been
have
like-
to.
yeah.
No,
Your whole thing changed.
Yeah, thinking wise, maybe differently.
Right,
and,
right.
You don't expect me now to be walking and then throw paper on the floor.
Yeah, make
all
it.
those-
Yeah.
When I got to UK,
It's was
So-
like in Paris. I
Yeah.
thought that was somewhere in Congo.
Don't go there.
So
Don't
you
go
know,
there.
Finland.
Ejay,
There are a lot
don't go
of
there.
there are a lot of you can just check online. There are a lot of things check on TikTok.
A lot of
People talk
information,
about,
yes.
Yeah.
about Finland.
Right.
Just understand them, and then I think you'll be fine.
And to be honest,
you'll be fine.
it's peaceful and beautiful in Finland. I was just saying that I went to Paris and I took the train just once and I said never
don't go
again.
there. Don't go there.
Never again. So
For me, it's
when-
fun.
when
I
you're
like
in-
to.
when you're in
I like
Paris,
to
put your hand in your
experience.
it's too
pocket.
rough. It's too
Yeah.
rough. So Finland, is
Cover your
actually a
pockets
very
up.
peaceful place, and I think we enjoy a lot of things here that we probably might not appreciate. Just like you mentioned, I mean, you went to the UK and you could see that. Oh my God, what's going on? And things like that. But on a lighter note, wanna dive into sports a little bit.
Yes.
I've been waiting.
We want to dive into sports a little bit. But
Yes.
I mean, first I want us to talk a little bit about the Olympics that's just concluded. Yes, please.
I would like Corey to advise them too.
Oh,
Advice who?
the newcomers.
Oh, okay. Don't support us now to start with.
Support Arsenal. Don't support Arsenal.
We'll
he
call
said.
that out. We'll call that out. We'll call that out. I want to get
Don't support Arsenal. Support Barcelona and Manchester City.
Man
because
City.
people are watching
Or
this, so
even
my
your
advice may not be enough for you. So let's
uh,
hear.
I think the most important thing is to learn.
Mm.
Be open to learning.
Be open to learning.
Yeah, because I'll tell you something. Like when I came, I think I was 10 years ago, and we went out with the students. Like is it orientation or something?
Right,
something.
right.
Then we got to one point, and then they gave us what's it called? Is it ice cream?
Ice cream.
Yeah, and then everybody took it, and then everybody opened it, and then the next thing I just threw
You
the-
threw the
Ah.
paper.
the paper on
throw-
the floor.
yeah.
Classic.
almost immediately. Like the what's the name? Like the guy,
With the
The
guy,
coordinator.
person who was
The
guiding
tutor was
you guys,
like,
yeah.
please don't let us litter the ground and everything. And then I looked around. I was the only one who threw the plastic bag on the
Right.
floor. So everybody actually had that consciousness because if they were Europeans or something, they had that consciousness that okay, when you open something,
You
you
gotta,
actually dispose it
yes, yeah.
properly. Right.
Yeah.
But me as a Nigerian, I wasn't
No-
used to that.
Yeah, just throw it anywhere you
And
fine.
that was the last time. Right. At that point I knew okay
You
now.
learned immediately.
Now it's not happening anymore. So like then it's important, like Dami said, to actually understand, okay, this is my host. I'm a guest.
Right.
I shouldn't actually do things the way I used to do them back home. Right. Because I mean there are people that feel like, come on, I paid to come here.
Right. Right.
Right. So I should have my freedom. You should not be doing this.
Nobody should
I pay my
control
tax.
me. Yeah.
Like I mean, foreigners, we are so quick to say that. I'm
Yeah.
paying my tax,
Yeah.
I'm running my economy with tax and
You
everything.
are paying your tax in Nigeria.
you understand?
Who that one?
Right. It doesn't give you the right to now start misbehaving and then say, okay, like, no. Right. Let us respect the host and
Right.
let us learn from what they're doing. Right. Like their culture is not perfect.
Yes.
What they are doing is not the best.
You're right.
But it is important to learn those things that we know, okay, this is good.
The good things,
Being
yeah.
tidy,
Right.
like being orderly.
Keeping the place, yeah,
Man,
orderly.
like you go to the bank, sometimes it's actually so crazy sometimes that you go to the bank, somebody's not even on the queue.
And you
He's
still have to
just,
start, yes.
he's just standing on his own and then people are coming.
Yes,
to him.
that's true. That's true. It's
So,
just
like,
orderliness.
Right,
yeah.
like
Right.
it's you need to actually learn, right?
That's
Be
true.
open to learning. You will actually meet a lot of new things. You learn a lot of new things.
True.
And the more you open, the better it gets.
I like that because very spot on. I'm glad you said that orderliness because I think one of the problems we have as Africans is that we're not used to orderliness. Everything is done. You come now, you want the service right now, regardless of who is there. You think you can manipulate your way to it. And here, everything is done. Everything is systematic.
Like someone came and they wanted to open a bank account, and then they give them an appointment for the following week. The person wanted to get mad.
They wouldn't believe it. That why would it take?
I want
just
to
an
open a
appointment?
bank account. They're telling me to come next week. What's all this? But then it is what it is. Like you just have to learn and then
Orderliness. I think that's very important. Well, Peter, what's one of the biggest cultural shock that you experienced when you first got here? One of the biggest cultural shock. I think the thing he mentioned now, I just remember the orderliness thing was kind of a shock to me. Till today, sometimes I still don't understand why you gotta be on a queue for, even when there's no one that is, it's a different thing when there are people you're waiting. But there are sometimes the person is just sitting there doing nothing and they still expect you to be on
you
the
have
queue.
to be on the queue.
So I think that's one thing that was a big shock to me.
coming early was it for me.
Oh, timing. Oh, yeah. The
Timing.
African time thing. That will never.
Man, I mean,
What
you-
about you, Dami? Because I think Peter's still
My
thinking.
own true life story.
Mm,
So I was staying in a shared apartment.
right.
So every morning I will see this guy. Good morning. I'm doing this consecutively now, like, because I'm
Yeah.
Yoruba, we can greet and we greet you when
all
you're
the
sleeping,
time,
we can greet
necessarily
you.
we're greeting.
So one day I called him like, didn't you hear when I was saying good morning?
I was saying good morning.
What do you want me to say? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know
Okay.
that. That's not a thing.
So that was a shock to me.
Yeah.
But one thing is we shouldn't generalize. Some are different. That's one thing I learned. And
True.
if I'm going somewhere new, I want to have my own view.
Yeah, of the person or the
we were
place.
mentioning about Paris now. When I was going to Paris, and people were telling me this, nobody. If you ask something, in
They don't
English,
answer
they
you
won't
and all
answer
that.
And I didn't experience.
You had
that.
a
So
totally
have
different
to-
experience. Yeah,
You need your own experience,
Yeah.
and you learn from that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
yeah. P, can you remember anything? That was everything was shocking to you.
Just leave me alone.
He's experienced a lot of cultural shock that he can't believe it.
It's
sir.
the shock
but,
until today.
but it's normal if we do it the other way around. If you go into Nigeria,
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's-
I'm sure.
You
I'm
book
sure.
the full.
I went to UK. I had to go to UK.
I think mine was even the climatic shock. I came to Finland summertime, and
So you didn't know what to expect during the winter.
yeah, I didn't know, not even the winter. I didn't know what time it was.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
because it was
that.
bright all day.
So
It's usually bright
it
all
was
day,
4 on my phone, but
Midnight.
it was
was-
4 a.m.
and it was sunny.
And I was so tired, and I slept. My train was supposed to stop at Kokola. I found myself in Olu.
You had overslept, and you look at the time. It was,
Man, I didn't sleep from Nigeria till I got here. I wanted to see where I'm going to.
See,
Chai.
no first
it
flight.
was
out
still
of
I'm
very
hungry.
early.
I'm hungry. I couldn't eat. If I'm traveling, I can't eat.
Mm.
I can't eat. I
I
only
think there's something they call that. They call it. Is it flight?
Jet lag.
no, not jet,
like
not
sleeping
not, not. I don't have phobia for flights. I think I was anxious. I was excited.
Yeah, yeah.
And at the same time, I was afraid of what to see.
And you came as a footballer, if I remember,
Of course,
right?
of course, of course.
Speaking of
Big
football, I want us to dive into Paris, but quickly let's touch on like the current situation of Nigerian or African influx of African players in Finland currently.
Over to you, Cora.
We all follow the league, right? I follow
Yes.
the league. I don't really not too heavy, but
Not.
yeah,
Cora
but
is-
the influx
Cora
of
is man for the
African
league.
players right now,
Yeah,
is-
in the
it has gone.
in the
It has
Vegas Liga.
decreased a lot.
Decreased.
Yeah, decreased in my opinion. I mean, of course, Cora might know better.
And I mean, are you talking about Vegas Liga?
Vegas
That's like
Liga.
Yeah, I would say
think
top
Vegas
league,
Liga
top
went
league.
up.
Yeah.
Did it?
Really?
No, I think it
How
has
many
decreased.
players do we have in Vegas
No,
Liga
no,
now?
no. The number of African players.
4.
No,
Yeah,
they don't
something
have
like
4 this year. They didn't have. Even if
Cooks
they
have
have
only
that many,
one
there are
now.
players who
Yes.
have been in the league for years, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe move from one team to another.
Your player who got player of the month.
Okay, Ilves.
An African player.
Yes.
Well, like
Okay.
there are like
Yes.
3
He's
to
from
4
Nigeria.
African players
Yes.
in Inter, the left back, the striker,
Yeah, African or Nigerian?
Africans.
African.
It could be Ghanaians.
Yeah,
Are
general
you talking about
Nigerian
Africa?
Africans
Africans, yeah.
in general.
Yes, yeah, of course we have
A lot of
quite number
Africans in
African
Vegas
players
Liga.
in Vegas
Yeah.
Liga.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're talking about Nigeria, no, we don't have a lot.
Yeah,
a
not so
lot.
much, not so much Nigerians like before.
So with the number of, I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there's a big number of scouts who go to Nigeria specifically nowadays. So with the number of those scouts, I was actually asked to come on one of the trips last week or 2 weeks ago for the scouting thing. Of course, I had other things to do. With the number of those scouts, why is it still that the number of the players are not that many? There's only 3 or 4 Nigerian players in the top league currently. Is it with the Nigerian government?
I mean that's
And there are talents
that's
there,
the same
right?
question that I've been asking myself, And I had this conversation with Peter a couple of weeks ago. That I mean, why are we not getting players in the top league? And it's crazy because like when you look at Coleman, which is the 5th tier now,
Tier
Kyle
league.
Conan is
Right.
4th tier.
Right.
You have a lot of Africans, a lot of Nigerians there. And then you ask yourself, like, did these guys actually grow up to come and play football in 4th tier
in the
Finland?
4th, 5th tier of the Finnish
Definitely
football.
not.
Do
Definitely
you
not.
understand? Like I was discussing with Peter that like what is actually going on? Like these scouts go to Nigeria, like you said, every year. Some are
Right.
even there now.
They are there right now.
Some are planning to go in December. Right. So now, is the process broken? Are they bringing the right players? Are they bringing the most available players? I mean, so there's a lot
Are
of
they even bringing them to play football? Because there's a
Yeah.
big,
Controversy.
I mean, there's a big controversy right now of exploitation.
yeah.
Of
that's the
I don't know. I mean, I can't use the word trafficking or anything, but it seems as though like it's become like it's not even they're not even bringing them to play football anymore.
I mean, that's
So they just go there, they gather a whole bunch of people together, get them the permits, and then it's ridiculous the situation that it is. But I wonder, I mean, we used to be one of the countries in the in the years past that produces the best young talents.
yeah.
Even if you look at on the 17s,
Yeah.
the 16s, that has changed a lot.
Yeah, because I think over time, even before someone like me got the opportunity to come to Europe, you always hear of what this person did, this Nigerian agent, dad. He went to Togo, took some player. Nigerian agent went to Togo, Nigerian agent. I played in Ghana for
For some time.
6 months, three and 3 months. Oh, Nigeria. Oh, there was one Nigerian agent. He took some people there. Nigerian agent in Ivory Coast, Nigerian. So like we have good agents, but there are
Many
those that are
barons.
spoiling the business. And when you come to Finland, my experience was not that bad, but I know some people that deserve to even play higher than the Vickers League.
Right. Top league.
They are not.
They ended up not,
They're like
not
you
making
could
it to the potential.
you don't have to look too far. You can see what they can do. Football is their job. They don't know
Right.
nothing
They
else.
don't- yeah.
So if you say you're an agent or a representative, and you bring a player whose job is to kick the round ladder, and he's not doing that, then he's, so to speak, almost useless to himself.
Yeah.
True.
So as a representative, it's your job to put him where he would thrive, which is in the green. So now when you get those kind of quality players who, from their heart of hearts, finally say, oh, I'm going to the big leagues, and they travel by plane and they get here, families are rejoicing, only for them to get here
And then see a totally
and
different
start riding
situation.
bicycle to go and deliver food.
So, Peter, what we advise someone who is watching this from Nigeria now,
Right.
I'm planning to, like, he has options now, and Finland is one of them.
Well, to be
Pursuing
honest,
football career.
anybody, any young player in Nigeria would dive at any opportunity right now,
Yeah.
Right.
considering the economy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, how do you vet someone who says he's an agent? How do you vet someone who comes with evidence?
Cora, you'll have to answer
With
that for us in a
pictures?
minute.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
You-
go
so
on.
he comes with pictures, with videos. He's not the first time you're seeing him. The last time he came, 7 players left.
I know we haven't heard
So now
anything.
he's here again. Sometimes they even come with pictures of 1 or 2 who are
Why
not
currently
so successful.
Yeah.
You pictures. There's a photo no they lie, but photo they lie. I used to be a photographer. Photo they lie.
Take action picture for
Action
any game.
picture. I
As
know
long as
some
you
people.
package it well,
I know
it
some
looks as
people
if
who are
it's-
not playing, but their action picture is
are
more
great.
active than they are. Their action pictures online is more active than their football life in real life. So so now when those back at home see these pictures plus swag plus Facebook posts, so they think all is well.
They've been swayed already, so they just fall for it.
It's really difficult to advise people like that.
Like,
because,
they're not
you
going
don't
to
want
hear
to come like, yeah.
That-
So
well,
now, like the platform, like I and Cora were speaking, like, so why do you bring somebody to Finland? What is the 5-year plan?
Yeah.
What is the 3-year plan?
for a player, for a
Short time
young
and long
player.
time, like, okay, between 1 and 5 years, what do you even expect? I think one thing the player should ask the agent is, in 1 to 5 years,
Do
what do
they
you think, like-
ask?
They just want
Do
to
they
get
should
ask?
li- that's
I
why
wonder-
we're doing this, so they should listen
But
to
that's
the
the
podcast.
thing. Yeah, please. This is important, and I'm very happy you asked. For us to shed light on this. Cora, you being an international agent, who do we blame in situations like that? And again, moving on to please add to the question that Dami asked, that how do you advise a young player? Because personally, I think when they announced that I had become coach of a third division team, bro, I cannot, bro. You need to. And the funny thing is,
You go sign me.
Swamp.
there was
I'm
somebody
saying
who
it
was
on
offering
camera
me
now.
20 million naira.
Sign me.
to just make a contract for one of his boys and all that. So when you start getting this kind
Did
of
you
offer,
mention the figure right now?
yeah, 20 million. I can show you the DM.
That's 10,000 something.
That does answer
But
the
the
question.
problem now is, I know that
this
there
is
is
not the path
it will not lead to anything.
Yeah.
Yes, let's take the money. We make 1 or 2 contracts. We bring the boy, play half season, 1 season. That's
what
the end of it.
next?
But then what? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I wonder, from being an agent yourself, I'm sure you've seen these situations many times
Multiple
over
times.
and over.
Well, I think of course I'll blame the Nigerian government to start with.
The government takes all the blame.
Yeah,
Facts.
because
Are the
players
facts.
are desperate.
Yeah,
And when you make a decision out of desperation, you're likely to make the wrong one.
yeah, mostly wrong.
So it starts from there. So now, I remember one time I was in Nigeria and I think there was war in maybe Tunisia or Algeria. I cannot remember
One of those
one
countries.
African countries. And then one of my friends who was playing football was asking me for financial help.
Guys going over there.
That he got an offer there. I was like, "Are you crazy?
There's a war.
There's a war going on
over there. You want to go there and play football?
It's another side.
It's another.
Do you understand? So people are desperate, and when people are desperate, they don't have the time to vet things. They don't have the time to ask the right question. And unfortunately, everything happens to you as a player.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Only go feel
So you are the same ones, yeah.
It comes
If
to
it
you.
goes well, you are
If
the
your
one.
dream comes true, it comes to you. If your life is destroyed, it
It's,
affects
you.
you. 100% is on you. Right. So now, like Peter said, somebody came to you and said, okay, last time I took 7 players abroad. These are their pictures. You will not ask the person what is their name.
So I can find it out myself.
You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have Snapchat, but you cannot Google.
Yeah.
And say, okay, this guy said he took John this thing here.
Let me check the name.
Where
and see
is
where the
John
person is
listening?
at.
So now, if you now say, okay,
Very, very correct.
They took John to Finland, and then internet has all the information. Then you can click, okay, John is playing Alpa, and then you check Alpa is playing 5th tier Finland. If you're desperate, the moment you see John is in Alpa, you contact the guy straight. I want to pay because usually they want people to pay.
Yeah.
Right, but if you're not too desperate, then you check and say, okay, Alpa. Okay, yes, John is actually abroad. But what's happening there? Alpa is in 5th tier.
50 okay.
5th tier in Finland. Is it really worth it? No. Now they're
All the
asking you to pay
investment, the time
10,000
and
of
everything.
euros. Right. 10,000 of euros. Is it actually worth it to pay to go to 5th tier Finland? But because you're desperate, I want to travel, come on, travel. So yeah,
believe
everything
your
comes to you,
talents.
yes.
Believe your
And then
talents.
another thing is for you to actually be realistic with yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Because I get contacts almost every day. And then they're like, okay, please, Cora, get this boy out. And I'm like, this boy cannot even play Nigerian Premier League.
So where do you want us to
let me
take
Do you
it to?
understand?
Show me-
This
let me
guy
see his
cannot play the
highlights.
top academies in Nigeria. And that is it. So now, if your boy cannot start in Beyond Limit, for example, how is he going to start in Chelsea? So you have to be
You
realistic.
cannot start for FAR Blaze.
Do you understand?
Every blaze.
So if your boy cannot start there, right, your boy is not even the best player in
his own
even
age
in
group.
your team. Among his peers, is not the best. Right. You don't say, okay, this guy is actually, and you know, Nigeria, we have ego. We are the best. We are better than Osimhen. You see somebody who scores that like 1 goal in 10 games in his
the
local
local
league.
setting.
We tell you that Boniface is shit. Do you understand? So we have to be realistic with ourselves to know your level, then try to push to that level.
Speaking of talent, right? The African best African player of the year is coming up.
Lookman.
You guys,
100% Lookman.
They didn't nominate my guy.
Ooh.
Boniface now. No, I actually want to touch on that because
100% Lookman.
you know it's. I think
Why
now
should Boniface be nominated?
awards is they are more political now because
No.
Boniface,
But I don't think
Boniface-
personally. I don't think Boniface.
okay, let's compare now. Ibrahim Diaz was nominated. Ibrahim Diaz was sitting on the bench.
I don't think he
for
should
Real-
be there.
Ibrahim Diaz?
Yeah, he
No.
sat on the bench for like 80%
I don't
of the
think so.
games. Boniface was rookie of the year.
They won the league.
Yeah, well,
Player
I think
won
the
the league.
problem with that
Was-
will be
I was
that
the highest goal
I
scorer.
mean, it will be somehow if they nominate 4 or 5 people from the same country.
So why
Whether
not?
good or not?
That is it.
Did they deliver
well,
or
yeah,
not?
personally,
When we had
no.
Rivaldo, we have Roberto Carlos, we have Ronaldo. These guys were taking 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's
Or
true.
top 5.
That's
I mean,
true.
If you have Itali-
I
so
think
why
that's
not?
I think that's the part. That's where CAF were coming from when they decided to omit
That's why I said it's getting
Boniface
political
one,
because they are trying to take everybody from
it's
each
not
region.
getting political. I think
If you say Nations
that's
Cup,
a-
if you say Nations Cup, Guerrero was it not in the Nations Cup? How many goals did he score? If you say
I wonder if the
Champions League,
criteria.
how many games
Yeah,
did
well,
Ibrahim
that's the Brahim Diaz part. I think that makes it a little difficult to argue.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm kind of surprised that we are still working with votes when it comes to things like this. You're bringing in VAR, you're bringing in all these technologies to football. So why are we still relying on votes for these things?
So that it can be manipulated,
So,
it can be
so now,
doctored.
if you can bring in technology to improve the football, then you should bring in something to actually handle these things.
This
Even
part
if it's going
also.
to be like point-based system.
But so if you were to make this, who are the top 5 that you're gonna nominate?
for African?
Yeah, African best. Let's start with you, Dami.
Ademola
Okay,
Luk-
let's start with you.
Ademola Lukman.
So
Okay, yes, that's
Okay.
that's top 5. Yeah,
That's his own top 5. Ademola Lookman, Boniface,
yes,
Victor.
Ekong,
yes.
Victor Osimhen.
Ekong, the center back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ekong.
Okay.
You
You want to know
No. Victor
Ekong,
Osimhen,
the center back for
he
Nigeria?
was the
Yes.
best player at the Nations Cup. He was the MVP.
What else did he do over this year, though?
He scored.
But come on,
he got injured at the
It
Nations
was the
Cup.
Nations
What
Cup,
would he do?
yeah.
Patrick Mboma. Let's go back to Patrick Mboma.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Patrick Mboma won Nations Cup with
yes.
Eto'o, and they gave him Player of the Year. He was playing. Which club was he playing with then? I can't remember.
even
It was in
remember.
Italy, right?
Yeah.
Was it?
But mainly they
Lazio
gave him
or
because
something.
of his performance at the Nations Cup.
Right.
yeah.
Ekong was the MVP, and a defender had 4 goals or
Yeah.
4 or
Yeah,
5
well,
goals.
that's true. He took all 5
He
penalties.
was really, really
Yeah.
instrumental, like, and it was really, really ruthless.
Okay,
at the back.
Ekong, I mean, I don't agree too much, but who's that's 3?
I would say Grassy because the guy really performed. He was the second highest scorer
So
in
Victor
Bundesliga.
Osimhen should not.
Victor Osimhen
I
last
don't think
season
so.
he didn't have a good performance.
Wasn't the best
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Controversy
Yeah,
also.
so I like him, but not in this one.
Yeah, not this year.
One more should be. I like South African goalkeeper.
Rowan Williams.
Yeah, I like he was one of
He was
nominated for world
really,
best.
Yeah, he was. Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was
Okay.
among the
You know
list.
the irony. Boniface was nominated for Ballon d'Or,
But not nominated for
Footballer
African
of the Year.
best.
That's why we're having the
And
arguments
you know
because
when he mentioned about relying on
it's funny.
votes and as in how can you have top 3 and you don't have Vini there? How can you have top 3 and you don't have Rodri there? Like you see some votes, some people are not putting
Yeah,
Rodri or
exactly.
putting Vini.
And then you ask yourself, like, what criteria
What
did you
criteria
use
are
to
they using?
choose your best 3?
That's that. Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I think now I kind of agree with you because I think you're right. You're right with that. But at the same time, I still think it would be it's unfair. Would unfair be the right word if we have 4 nominations from the same nation? Because that would create a lot of controversy around the African Nations Cup itself.
well,
There are other countries participating, regardless, even if most of the players from other countries are not up to par.
Yeah.
It would just be right and fair to nominate one person
Bro,
from here
this is not about being fair. You're looking for the best player. Yo, I mean, the award is meant to actually bring the best,
performance.
reward the best player in that year. So I don't care if you're from Ghana, if you are from Togo, if you're as long as you're the
Ghana is
best.
not in the
Yeah,
list.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
By the way, what do you guys think about Ghana not making it in the Nations
we'll,
Cup?
Oh,
we'll
man.
get there.
Those guys are
Victor Boniface's teammates, Edmond Tapsoba, the defender,
Was nominated.
made the nomination. Boniface,
Based on what?
but no, he's a good defender, no doubt.
I know.
If he
But
made-
based on the performance-wise,
based on the club
if
performance.
he made this, if he made this list by performing in Leverkusen,
Yeah.
then
then
Victor
Boniface
Boniface should be top
he
2.
should be also, yeah.
Highest goal scorer. Rookie of the month 3 months. Player
He
of the
got
month
injured,
twice.
came back, scored
Team
goals.
of the year.
He comes off the bench, scores
Yeah,
goals.
well, I
Team
think
of
his
the year.
omission was kind of controversial,
It's
to be honest.
controversial.
Yeah.
This just goes to show that a group of people, if they don't like you,
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do. I
And I-
feel
and
they
I
don't
think-
like
and-
the way
and I think-
he's
I think-
lackadaisical about how he carries the
I
game.
think they made that decision based on what he's saying. Like, okay, he's from Nigeria.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
we
really
are talking about
because they
reward.
already have 2-3 people nominated from
It
Nigeria. So
shouldn't
they were
be-
saying,
it
It's
shouldn't
an,
be
it's an
any-
individual award.
Exactly. Like, I mean,
It's an
if you
individual
play
award.
well,
They
you
judge,
play well.
They judge Vinicius Junior's for his attitude, and he didn't perform for.
Oh, so you think he deserved to win the Ballon d'Or ahead of
course.
Rodri? No. Come
No,
on.
let's
I don't
go,
think you agree with
Let's
that.
go back.
Why not?
You may not agree.
Do you agree to
Let's
Cora?
go back.
Yeah.
Let's go
I
back.
think either of them would have been a worthy winner.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
now we're not talking either.
No, I'm not.
Out of the two
I'm not
of them
angry.
now, do you think Vini deserves it more than Rodri?
Absolutely yes.
You know,
Why
no,
would you say that?
let me
so
explain.
the main criteria you want to use for Rodri to win it, then Lautaro Martinez should win it.
Take it. You are a good man. You are a good man.
So if you want to
Lautaro
use
had
criteria-
more individual performances.
Highest goal scorer,
Goal
Copa
scoring
America,
awards,
Super Cup.
both club and country.
There's
Copa
still,
America,
there's still
World
a
Cup.
certain level that is attached to Ballon d'Or. You just
It's
don't
a-
give it
it's
to
a-
random.
it's a-
What's the
What-
level?
what-
What do
It's
you
a
mean?
selection.
What's
It's
the
not-
level?
I don't
What
think
exactly do you
Lautaro
mean?
sounds-
What's the level
I
they
don't
use
think
that? You
Lautaro
said
sounds
Henry.
good.
Henry
When
from
I
winning it
mean,
twice.
Lautaro Martinez because
I
he's
mean- He
had a
captain-
great year, he
He's
had a
the
great
captain of
season.
Inter Milan. Rodri is not the captain of Manchester City.
I think all round performance.
Lautaro
all,
Martinez.
No, all round. I think Rodri.
So
Rodri-
How?
Consistency.
Okay, let's compare.
Lautaro was
let's compare.
not as consistent
Let's
as Rodri
compare.
was.
Let's
Says
compare.
who?
Let's compare.
Rodri was not nominated for PFL Player of the Year.
Wait. You mentioned
And then he
the
won the
word-
best
He
player in
wasn't
Europe.
nominated.
It wasn't
No.
nominated for English Premiership.
You mentioned the word consistency. No player has been as consistent as Vinicius Junior for the last 4 years.
No, come on.
Let me go back.
Come on.
For
now.
Real Madrid, because
4 years,
while
no.
while he had
No, for Real Madrid.
yes,
for
while
Real
he had
Madrid.
bigger boys ahead of him,
For Real Madrid,
he
he
was
has
still
been
doing his
consistent,
job.
injury free.
That's
mostly.
true.
He was
That's true.
doing
He was
his
playing all the
jobs.
games. He was
Benzema
killing all
won
the
Ballon
games.
d'Or. Yes, we know. He spectacular
Maybe because I
finishes.
just don't like Madrid. So
Yeah,
No,
we know.
that's it.
But
That
to be
was
honest,
the
we don't
most-
care what you like or what you
shouldn't
don't
be
like.
what you-
It's none of our
and
business.
I believe that's what those that are in charge
Maybe because I
are
don't like
using
it.
to decide.
That's exactly why he didn't win. Because people like you are
Rodri,
voting and then saying no,
and you don't
he shouldn't
like
be
Vini.
there.
Shot fired.
Well, you don't have to like Vini. The
Yeah.
award is not about whether you
Exactly.
like him or
Wait, all
not.
three of you agree that Vini deserves it ahead of Rodri.
If it is an individual
Okay, I need
award,
to get that clear because
I'm not angry. Rodri was awarded, that,
But you still
I'm
think
very
that Vini
angry.
deserves
but I
it
think the person that deserved it
the most.
was
I'm very angry.
Mm.
Vini.
Even as a City fan, you agree.
No, I mean it's
You know, when people are
difficult
talking-
to be honest because of the year, because of the Copa America.
Did
Right.
Rodri win the Champions League? He didn't win the Champions League. He is not even the best player
In the Champions
in-
League.
In Champions League, he's not the best player
Man
according to the
City.
English Premiership.
This is news to
his
me.
performance for Spain, he was the general. Hello. The
All
last
round.
time anybody played football, that a midfielder played football, and you're like, Mugbe, Kevin De Bruyne, Luka Modric, Sergio Busquets. Those are midfielders, and when they play football, you wonder how do these guys play?
you see people-
Rodri is a
you know,
basic
people-
player that is just physically fit and disciplined.
You see people writing.
Yeah, but he's really good.
He's good,
Don't
but
get
not
me
as
angry.
good as
Please,
Kevin De
Don't
Bruyne.
talk down Manchester
Not
City
as good
player.
as Kevin De
He
Bruyne.
deserves it.
No, when you talk
He
about
doesn't.
City last year or two,
He deserves it.
I think Rodri all round.
City
All
is
round.
a consistent
Don't-
team. If you are a very disciplined
Take
player,
Rodri out of that team and then you don't have City.
Speaking of consistent team, what do you think is the problem with Arsenal? Why can they never
my God.
experience
Oh my
the dream of
Ijebu behavior.
what's Ijebu? What that means? Stingy.
Ijebu behavior like
But they,
No, I
they
mean,
got players of high,
the point
high
is
Some
like,
people may not agree with me, but you cannot be playing a system where the master of the system is the same league as you. And this,
So you think
this master-
Arteta's system? Hold on, let me get it right. So you think the fact that Arteta is playing the same system as Pep, that's the reason why they're
Let
not?
me explain. I'm getting somewhere, sir. You can.
But you have different. The kind of players that Arsenal have got are different from what.
Let me
City
explain.
got.
I'm like when you, if you are taught by a professor, you definitely do things
Like a professor.
like the way your professor teaches you in your own way.
So the coach is the problem. now.
Maresca is playing the same system,
the
but
coach is not the
slightly
problem.
different.
I mean, what are you
No, the
guys
coach
saying?
is. I'm getting there.
He's saying that they are shit.
I'm getting there.
You agree that they are rubbish.
Yes.
The thing is
No,
for
we are
Arsenal.
winning. We are winning the league.
For
this year.
Arsenal.
Yeah. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this episode.
Joke of the year.
Okay,
Today
your
is
fellow
18th
Arsenal
of
fans, they are not
November.
winning anything.
I think Arsenal finished fourth.
November 24.
Fourth.
I mean, let's talk about teams that are
18th
doing
of
good.
November.
What do you guys think about the
18th of November.
Today is the
2024.
and he
We'll
has
come back to this.
predicted it that they are winning
Okay,
the
we
league.
are not winning nothing. The thing is simple.
Arsenal will finish top
You
4.
cannot have a team where your striker is a former defense or an attacking midfielder. And
We are buying.
he's
We are
not
buying a new
physically
striker in
strong.
January.
Like it took Pep Guardiola had to look for a striker that would just do the job of matching the ball into the net. He already has a lot of midfielders and creative players.
That's the major difference.
Yeah.
Now you get a Kai Havertz who, no doubt,
I think he's
hardworking
a shy player.
And you know the reason why Correa doesn't like Haaland is the reason why Pep bought Haaland.
Just
You know,
for finish.
Haaland in a game, he may have just 8
few
touches.
touches.
Yes.
And 2 now go.
And it's
But
crazy.
as a City fan, I don't think that should be. You should never. I
No,
mean,
he used to be a Chelsea fan.
Come on, that's like 20 years ago. What are you saying? Come on. What do you mean?
We are real fans of Arsenal. We never win anything.
No,
We see this here.
he's an Arsenal fan.
I've
So.
always-
yeah,
no, come on.
yeah,
No, I don't
he's
want
an
you to
Arsenal
bring
fan.
my
No,
personal
but
business.
he's an
in.
Arsenal fan.
Hey,
I've
can
always
you
been a
imagine?
Barcelona fan.
He's
Never-
Oh
always
my
Barcelona
God.
fan.
Oh, 3 Arsenal fans.
Patrice Evra said it best. Like, how come Galatasaray could afford Osimhen, however they negotiated the deal, but Arsenal couldn't?
The contract is not straightforward.
Osimhen aside, there are a lot of young finishers.
Why do you wait? I mean, we're gonna be rounding up
we'll go
shortly.
for a striker.
Why do you think that deal didn't? Why didn't it work out with Victor Osimhen? What do you guys think was the problem? in his
Chelsea's
situation?
contract was insulting.
So you think the contract, the offer they gave him was
Let's put a
insulting?
number to it. I heard like I don't know what the tax percentage for England is, but I hear like 40% is already gone. Let's say they pay him. Let's say they pay him 200. 40% of 200, that's 80 million already gone. And there's another 20% you have to pay for another thing again. That's another another 40 million gone.
They're not offering 200.
Yeah,
For the way
so
the weekly
I'm,
wage
I'm saying put 200 on it. So at the end of 200,
He's
what
still
will be left
earning
is
lower
like
than what
80
he
million.
gets in with Napoli.
So now,
And this guy
You are
is
bringing-
one of the best striker in Europe.
Again,
it was
Again, I'm
number
kind of
4.
wondering.
If he's a Brazilian, nobody will do. They will offer.
Wait.
You know what? The thing is with the American owner now, they are trying to put this NFL style of salary.
Yes,
so
yes.
based on performance. So what they are telling him now is, we'll start on this,
From this
this
new,
scale
this,
and then
yeah.
we move
and then
like
based on your
this.
performance, they will increase it. The same thing they did with Kopama now. But man, Osimhen is not.
Osimhen is not Kopama who came from the
You know what
bench
I'm
and started
thinking
playing
now
football.
is
One
that
Scudetto. So it was insulting, as he mentioned. And the salary the guy wants, Arsenal cannot give it because of we have to like for example now David Raya, we couldn't buy him outrightly. We had
yes.
to loan him. So we have to balance our books, unlike Man City.
But Osimhen is on loan to
Who
Galatasaray.
agreed on that?
yeah, that's what's
He's
up.
on loan, but the salary that they Galatasaray were able to
asking
pay
for.
salary.
But then I'm kind of wondering that isn't that one of the problems or one of the issues of being an African? Osimhen is
Twice, man.
like you cannot tell me that a striker like Osimhen.
So if he was a European striker, you think
Like, what do you think?
What are you saying?
Gyökeres, man.
Toby,
Gyökeres that is
Don't be.
like
They're hyping him.
Yeah, but I
hyping
wonder.
him.
I mean, do the top clubs? Do they? I don't
mean,
think they.
now that's
consider
the
things like
question,
that.
do.
man. That's the question that
I mean,
Is he
at
not a
whose
top
depth range
striker?
Would that be then?
you don't understand. Like
way
Osimhen
he
is
was
top
motivated
5
by
striker in
Napoli
the
number
world.
Top 3 strikers in
Do
the
you
world.
understand?
When
Yeah,
he was
that,
in
at the last
Napoli.
year,
Bro,
last year.
Like,
The only comparison
I mean,
to
you don't
Osimhen was
understand.
talent.
Man, you don't understand how bad, as in I actually felt like following the news. Osimhen is a player that should command a blank check.
For
with
real.
his level,
After that last,
with his
yeah,
achievement, with what he has done.
But I wonder, as a
What he's
player,
doing
though,
now.
would do you think it would have been smarter for him to take a pick?
Never.
Never.
Why would you take it?
Never.
That is what they wanted.
Never.
That is the African factor.
When De Bruyne wanted to negotiate for a new contract,
new
you know what this
contract.
guy did? He
He
brought
brought
all,
his
the,
dates,
all his statistics,
yes, and data.
his
Then and
contribution to the team,
yes, now.
and they
Put it on the table.
Yes.
from 200 to 300, 400, or even
I mean,
almost 500,000.
How will you
Like-
say?
He brought his statistics. This is what I've been contributing to the team.
But then, I mean,
The only player that should take a pay cut is one that, while he was in
You
his
want to
prime,
prove
he
yourself.
Got injured. No, he
Okay.
got injured. Went back for a while and you're
let me
coming up.
agree with you guys that no, never, why? Do you think the decision he made is the right decision?
100%.
No. Let's answer it. How many goals has he scored?
5, 6,
You were a player.
league?
Would you rather play
In the-
and in
more
Europa,
than
he has, I think
couple of
Tottenham
goals.
is 8.
almost
EJ?
almost 10.
And assist.
Would you rather play for a team where you are happy or for a team where you are tolerated even though you are well paid?
It was
I
almost
wonder
insulted
because
at
I think
Napoli.
now, so now, I mean,
gave
why I'm
the-
saying this because I think now he's shifting away from that prime.
Man is still in
No.
his prime. Her delivering on the European
This is
stage.
Victor.
At the end of the season, let's say the January transfer,
Yeah.
he's on loan, right?
Yeah.
So which means he has to go back to Napoli.
Yeah.
Do you think would any team make any bigger offer for
Based
him?
on his performance right now. Have you been following
If
him?
they did, what are you saying? If they didn't offer, if they were not offering him what he wanted the year when he was number 4.
Because there was a problem already.
Napoli owner wanted to frustrate the guy.
So that was
This
because
intentional.
because of the problem with
It was
Napoli.
intentional.
The owner rejected
So, but
offers.
what says? I mean, who's to say now that when the loan finishes, go back, the transaction will be smoother?
There's nothing he will do for Napoli right now than to go on loan again.
How many
No,
years?
in the new
He still has a year or two,
You know,
right?
he signed a new contract before he went to Galatasaray.
Yes, just a few months
So
before
there
the
are
problem.
clauses there. In the previous one, there was no clauses.
Okay, so now
he signed it
to his own
for him,
advantage.
yeah, to
Yes.
his own advantage. So
Yeah,
that's the
clauses
difference now.
about how much clubs have to pay, how much Napoli has. Now the owner does not have that liberty
Yeah.
to just say,
okay, so he
I'm
has a
not.
better
No.
advantage.
So
And I
now
think- and I
there-
think
there's
also-
a certain amount of money. Okay, if a club brings this range, then you have
He
to
has
listen
to
to
go.
them.
To listen,
As long as the player wants to go.
Personal negotiations
So-
separate.
But let me ask, right now, have you been following Galatasaray?
Yeah, I do.
He's not only scoring. This guy is
He's working, he's
Yeah,
pressing.
and I think he brought some. I don't know. He brought some notoriety to the Turkish
No,
league.
not like
The
no.
Turkish league is the
He-
other way.
Osimhen
But
feels like
he fits into that system.
like
isn't he?
a
I
mean,
I actually
like a
think he looks
child.
better in with the
Man,
with in
happy.
Galatasaray.
He
He's
made
happy.
a
Have you seen
very
him-
good
Have you
move.
seen him with Gala fans?
He's happy.
Have you seen Osimhen with Gala fans?
Shout out to Galatasaray.
So
I need
wait,
your
Galatasaray.
jersey.
Wait.
Send
So
me.
now, I mean, you've played football before. We've all played football on some level. You are an agent
I
now.
don't play when I'm
Would
not- I don't play. I play with
Would you? I mean, as a player, I think Osimhen is able to make that decision
Yes,
because he's already.
at that level.
We can say he's at the top.
Yes.
An average player would. You
Don't
advise
say
him
that. Don't say we can say. He's at the top.
He's at the top.
Don't say we can say he's at the top.
I
I'm
don't think
angry.
he's-
I'm angry.
all the way there.
He's
at the top.
Who is
Don't-
above him?
don't tell me he's-
How do you measure it? Erling Haaland plays for a team that basically arrange goals for him.
What do you mean?
No.
No,
Please,
let me analyze
as a
it.
striker, I would not allow you. I would not
Exactly.
allow us to.
EJ, good.
What do
use
you
that.
mean
Let
that
me
They
analyze
don't
it.
arrange. He
Let
has
me
to
analyze
do
it.
the finishing.
He has to do the finishing.
Victor, in my opinion,
Yeah.
is not all the way there.
Okay.
I think.
So give me an example.
There
Who is
you
there?
go.
He has the right to
No,
do that.
There's like world. Okay,
No, give me
not
an
world
example
class.
of
He's a world class.
So what are you now saying?
But
So who is-
there is this top.
Listen.
Like, so who is
Yeah.
in that top
Listen.
tier? Who? One example.
I think Haaland will be a perfect
Who
fit.
else?
as
Okay, who
someone
else?
who's in the
One.
top tier.
Who else?
The Victor guy now is in the top tier.
No, we are talking about somebody that
No,
that
no,
won
a world class
Scudetto
would be- I
since
think-
1980 what?
A world class would be Haaland right now.
Man.
Did
this-
Haaland win the league with Dortmund? I can't remember.
No, he didn't.
I'm trying to think of
No,
another striker.
EJ,
Who's Lautaro? We could say a world class.
Wait,
Are
I'm
you
asking
kidding
a
me?
question.
So you rate him
I'm
over
asking you a
over
question.
Osimhen?
Over Victor.
Wait, I'm asking.
I will
EJ,
not put my Nigerian prejudice.
EJ.
I definitely rate him over
EJ,
Victor.
No, I
did
think-
Haaland really win the league with Dortmund?
No, he didn't.
He wasn't. He
didn't.
wasn't. I don't think we can place him on that top tier at that time.
But
He
they
was
didn't.
just world
So
class.
were
what
already
changed
singing
when
his
he came
The
praises.
number of the goals.
No,
And so what?
they were
was
already
scoring in
singing his
Dortmund.
praises in Dortmund. He's the greatest,
World
most dangerous
class.
striker. I'm making a point here.
In
Osimhen
Hollywood,
won.
Hollywood, hold on. Let me use this example. In Hollywood, they have what they call the A class, right?
yeah,
A-list.
Yeah, A-listers, yeah.
A-listers.
Yeah.
And then there are those.
So what are you saying?
Denzel.
Osimhen is not. Osimhen is not A-lister.
So now, if we bring it back to football,
Yeah.
would you say Victor Osimhen is an A-list of
he's. As,
Would you
not say
my
that?
opinion
Huh?
right now.
So
Even
is Lautaro
Right.
Martinez A list?
okay, good question there.
Mention the A-list strikers
Yeah,
now.
mention 5 A-list strikers. Let's hear you.
I mean,
So wait.
No,
Man,
mention,
you
no,
Hold
no,
on,
don't
hold
say
on.
wait,
I know it's your podcast,
honestly
but you
trying to
cannot
understand.
disrespect
Never know
Victor like that.
What the
Don't
hell?
try that. Don't just try it.
Would you
Invite
rate
someone
Boniface
else.
and Victor? Hold on, hold on.
Mention,
No, I will answer.
mention 3
Would you,
A-list
would you put Victor Boniface and Victor Osimhen? Would you put it on the same level?
No, Victor is higher than Boniface.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe that might answer, but I still don't think
3
if you say
A-list,
A
your
list.
list,
now,
your
give us
list,
A
please.
list.
3 now.
And if you say Gyökeres is ahead of Osimhen, man,
he
no,
cannot
no.
say
Okay,
that.
no, I can't say that. That
You
was
can't say
that.
that.
No,
You cannot say
because
that.
He just started.
So what can you say?
3.
Haaland.
What do you want? Okay, yes.
Consistent from
All and yes. Who else?
Is Salah, would you consider
Salah
Salah?
is not a. This,
He's actually a winger. So what are you
If
saying?
you
I
look
think-
back with what the guy has
Okay,
achieved,
so you want
Okay,
us to look like currently, right?
Yes.
currently.
Haaland,
Striker.
yes.
I think he's in a league of his own.
Haaland is in the league of which of his own.
Which island?
I think he's in a league of his own.
I asked you
This
a
guy is
question.
not
Wait,
serious.
so you guys you would rate Victor
Osimhen
on
over
the same?
Haaland. I will rate Osimhen
No
over
man,
Haaland.
let's
I'm
be
not-
serious.
this
But
is
why
my
do you
aim.
rate him less? Why?
I just don't see it.
You
Because
don't
he's black?
see it.
No.
No, because he's
Is it
not
because
Yeah,
he's
0%,
black?
of course.
Say it.
I will first
Feel free. Say it.
when
Why are you black?
Say it.
EJ, let's be
maybe
real.
as a coach,
EJ, let's be real.
maybe as a coach, I
Yes.
might not see it. I really don't see it.
Okay, let's like at least let's stop
Let's
making
put
noise.
everything on. Let's analyze everything.
Erling Haaland with Dortmund could not win the league.
Yeah, but considering the number of goals
Please,
he scored,
please.
that's outrageous
Yeah,
number.
he's
of
scoring goals. They couldn't win the
Okay,
league.
so now you're talking from the
Osimhen-
perspective that Victor
No,
won
like
the league for Napoli after 64
So
years.
that is the point. Like Napoli is
that's
not
the
even
main point.
expected to.
I mean, do
win
you
the
even
league.
understand
It
the,
tells you the
the
quality
bias
this
that we're
player-
talking about?
The last time they did was Maradona.
This guy
The
won the
quality he
league.
has.
Did
and-
Henry win the league with Arsenal?
What's the name of this guy?
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
How many leagues now?
Easy.
Invisible Nko.
Thierry
Ah.
Henry. Oh,
Daddy
Who
Who
Freeze
was,
is that
who
you?
was the striker? Who was the
Danny
next
Freeze, is
striker
that
that came
you?
after Henry?
Don't
There are
de-
great strikers who didn't win
don't
the league.
deviate.
No, what
It's
I'm
not
trying to
about-
say
it's not-
See,
I'm trying to
the point
compare.
is, I think it's something we also need to actually address about how much respect,
We value our
all
power.
this respect the African players get.
I'm coming.
You
I have
cannot
another
lead
player in mind.
Napoli to the Scudetto and still be actually disrespected
Over
like
AC
this.
Milan, Inter Milan,
Milan.
Juventus, regular
Right.
winners.
And I think some people would argue that Chakalaka, what's his name?
Yes.
Actually
Kvaratskhelia.
contributed
Yeah,
more than
which is
Victor
exactly
did.
what we are saying.
The thing is,
Now,
the
see,
games he didn't play. What did Kvaratskhelia
see the
do?
bias
People
now.
will argue. Do you
EJ,
agree or
EJ,
not?
Absolutely
Some people
not.
argue that he
EJ,
actually contributed
EJ,
more.
He's
EJ.
not
to
the
them
king
winning.
of Napoli.
EJ,
No,
let
it's
me
not
tell
about
you
being
something, EJ. If you switch their roles and Osimhen was the left winger
Right.
and this guy is the striker,
Right.
this guy will get the whole awards. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Osimhen is the black striker who did everything.
Yeah.
And yet, people are saying, okay, the left winger was more instrumental.
More instrumental,
If
yeah.
you switch that role, give them the same numbers and everything,
They will say
even that black guy that is the left winger
Man,
will not.
Liverpool.
Do you understand? Like, and it is something.
Well, that's a
man,
good example.
man, as
Yeah,
a
that-
black
that's
man,
that-
you
the
have to
man
do.
is-
Are you agreeing or what?
You just have to do twice as much to actually get
kind of.
that
Let
respect.
me give you another player.
Wait, Samuel Eto'o Fields.
Oh,
Samuel Eto'o Fields actually came out and said, if only his name was Etodino,
Odinho.
he would have won
Will have
Ballon
been
d'Or.
be greater
And
than
a lot of people came for him and they were like, what is this saying? But it is the truth. I've never seen a striker like that boy. In his prime, he was the best.
Man.
Before
Champions
Madrid
League
game,
winning goal,
it is
Champions League final
1-0.
goal.
You know what's going to score. Yet.
When he was in Mallorca,
But, I mean, do you understand?
he
This
has
guy
been
scored
Madrid
everywhere.
MSC, man.
Nigeria, Ghana 2000. This
one
guy
of the
left
Alan
Cameroon
This guy
to
will
African
cut.
Cup at 19 years
at
old.
a young age.
Yet,
At
he
a
has
young
to
age.
keep fighting to, okay, I'm the
Still
best.
keep, yeah.
Do you
Well,
understand?
I do understand, but I don't know if I agree that it's an African thing. I just think that it's
Wait.
okay. Let me prove it.
What should Samuel Eto'o Fields do to actually be in that conversation?
I think he's one of the greats. Just
Now,
as Didier-
now,
I mean,
wait.
one
When,
you
of
say
the great,
Didier,
but he couldn't be the
is
great.
Is Didier not regarded as one of the greatest strikers ever?
But they could
see
not
the
be
problem
greats.
now. When we make
One of the
As
greats.
good as
comparison,
Didier Drogba was, he could not win Ballon d'Or.
you don't
Yeah,
understand
but
what
I
I'm
think
saying
his
now.
era,
No,
his
but
era,
Didier-
No,
his era,
during his era, no,
his
nobody.
era,
It's all-
his time
I
was
would,
the tough time.
I would have even say Eto'o Fields had a better chance to
But
win
he
Ballon
came
d'Or.
second.
Yeah.
So
Like,
why was
I mean,
he good enough
why?
for second and not first?
What more should we do as blacks
Why was he good enough
to
for
actually
second
get
and not
that
first?
record? I
So
mean,
you think this is
man,
is
I-
a stigma that is
It's
attached
it's
to
not just
African
a
players?
stigma.
Man.
Explain to me how a player who scored a hat trick in a Super Cup broke the record, set a new one, and is 14th in Ballon d'Or.
look, man.
That has never been done. Let's say Lukman.
10-10.
Let's say
Le
Lukman was Cole Palmer.
Lecroux.
Let's say
They rated
let's
him 10-10. I can mention players that they rated 10-10. Messi. Like against
Yeah,
the
very
other
few.
final.
Yeah, very few.
say Lukman was Cole Palmer. He didn't score a hat trick. He scored one, assisted two. he would have been top 5 in Ballon
Most
d'Or.
of these decisions are made by votes, right?
Yeah,
That's
but
exactly what we're
that's
saying.
talking about.
who are those voting?
I mean, that's
When
the
you are
question
putting-
we
when
have
you
to
are
What
ask.
are the
Vinicius,
majority
number
of
9
those voting?
in your list? You are putting Vinicius number 9.
Like,
So what is that based on?
I mean, I think it's something that's
our
it's actually
listeners,
heartbreaking, to be
these
honest.
guys are hell bent on that. There's a
There's
thing over
bias,
there.
we
Man,
know
man, the
I
point
don't want-
is-
let me
EJ,
not even go far. These are
EJ,
things that
yes.
as players we experience.
EJ, let me tell you something, right? Like, we will not make any excuse.
Right.
We will work as hard as possible. We will push ourselves to that limit. But
the
yet,
combination has to be
we would also understand that, okay,
There's
these
a
are the
system.
forces we are fighting against. Right? Because you cannot tell me that someone like Osimhen find it very difficult to move to the Premier League. If Alan was in the same situation,
They will die. They will be
Club
fighting
will pay
for
for him.
signature. They'll,
I mean,
they'll
so
be
now
topping
my-
up coins for his signature.
I shouldn't bring this back, but as we're around, I want us to. I mean, if you're in that situation,
yes.
wouldn't you, by all means necessary, just do it? That's why I mentioned earlier that why didn't he take a pay cut to just, if that's the whole point.
Saudi was offering him like £1 million per month or what?
Previous year.
EJ,
I was
Previous
like,
year.
yeah, but
EJ, let me tell you something, right?
That's why they went for this.
Once
Ivan
he
Toney
takes
now.
the
Yeah.
pay cut, right, he's never coming back.
coming
up.
back now.
Right. That's one thing I learned dealing with players.
So
Right.
once the value
Right.
goes down like
And
that.
if we follow Chelsea's history, they have that attitude of signing a striker before a new coach comes. It happened to Lukaku. You signed Lukaku. You signed Tuchel. Tuchel puts him on the bench. So what is now the guarantee
So
that
now
he takes a
he's
pay
going to
cut?
play.
Maresca comes and puts him on the bench.
Do you
Now they
understand?
blame the player for everything.
I mean,
And then he
like,
has already taken a pay cut.
Yes.
I mean, it's
And the value can never go back
in
up.
fact,
It's different
EJ,
when Maresca
except
is
the
the one asking, I want him, I want him,
except
I
the
want
player
him.
is struggling or the player is coming from injury. All those things.
Yeah.
But you cannot be at the
At your
top
peak.
Not
and then take the
injured.
pay cut. Right. Because
who has done
now,
that?
now the
Like
question is
20
Victor
something years
has
old.
nothing to prove to anybody. Right. Osimhen has nothing to prove to anybody.
Like he can do
He
it
has
at
done
every
it
stage.
everywhere. And when you look at the story from Wolfsburg and how he actually endured
Lille,
everything, right,
From Lille, he has been
to Lille.
consistent every season.
So like the only thing from Victor, as you can see, is that his chart is going up.
Right.
So if your chart is going up, you have no reason to take any pay cut.
What next for him now?
He's enjoying his life. Live by
Would you I mean, now at the end of, let's say there's an option to buy
Yeah.
Galatasaray. Would you advise him to stay put, or would you still?
Who else is on the list?
No, I'm very sure that by the time the loan, the loan spell is getting over, I'm sure there will be other options.
I think,
but I just wonder if the option will be as suitable as.
The thing
Ghana.
was because the owner Laurent is he dragged
Laurent,
it in. He
yes.
intentionally
He
wanted
intentionally
to
did it.
mess up the transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made sure, okay, at the end of it, okay, do this, and then okay, I will. So he the guy is a very difficult guy to deal with.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
I wouldn't even say maybe it's because
Hey, man, this guy in
it's
Tottenham.
because of race. No,
What's the
he
name
has
of that
done
guy?
that with
With
Amshi.
everybody.
Yes,
Did
he
it
did that
Amshi.
with
Koulibaly.
Did it with Koulibaly.
What's the name of that guy in Tottenham?
Striker
Their
was.
chairman.
What's his name?
That guy is also very difficult.
Tottenham chairman.
Tottenham
Yeah.
chairman.
Remember,
Those two guys.
remember,
what's
De
his name?
Laurentiis said
Levy.
Levy.
De Laurentiis said if he's going to sign any player from Africa, there should be a clause
That
in his
the
contract
clause
that
in the contract that
he
you're not
may
going to
not-
Nations
he's
Cup.
not going to Nations Cup.
No, this guy. No, I wouldn't even say
And that's the
only
same
to
person you are
African
saying,
players.
Osimhen should
He,
take a
he
point.
did the same thing to Amshi.
This is a clear insult to Africa.
You know what? Let's finish on this note. The timing by which the African Nations Cup is being played.
Yes.
Do you think the European clubs should adjust to their own
No,
schedule,
no.
or should the CAF adjust their own schedule?
I wouldn't ask any one of them because we are playing it in January because of the weather. We can't play African Nations Cup during
Anytime else.
during the summer because
So
the
now
weather then
the clubs paying millions of pounds, millions of euros to these players will say, well, it's at the very crucial time of our
Of
league,
the season, yeah.
and we do not want it. Just as I think it was OJB actually who asked the club that question about the time where he said, I think he made some. I don't
He
remember
doesn't
exactly.
want to delve into
Little
that
cup,
kind of
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. So where do we find the balance with that? If we end on that note,
I think I don't want to focus on the European side. I don't because
I mean,
so we should adjust to their own.
We have to adjust to them, not talking about this African Nations Cup,
Right,
they have
the
to
Nations
adjust
Cup itself.
to their, because these are the people paying their
paying the
salary.
year.
That's exactly
And if you
from
want the best players, some of the players can say, okay, no, I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
I want to focus on
my club football
To be
since I
honest,
get my bread.
If
there.
you want the best players, then you have to.
Let's say De Laurentiis was actually a nice man, and it's prime time for the league that Osimhen has to be key player. We will have to manage the fact that he may not play the first 2 games for Nigeria.
Yeah,
If it
personally,
means missing that first 2
I
games,
think it should continue like this.
Yeah,
I don't want them
exactly.
to change anything.
no, it will.
So keep it at the same time that it is.
Yeah,
But it
because
affects
But then
football.
the level of because I think it was Mo Salah last.
now wait,
It's every 2 years.
wait
no?
now.
Yeah, but they're trying to change
Wait.
it now to every
When
ODS or something.
when we started watching football, what was the format of the Champions League?
The regular,
normal.
the regular.
What is the format now?
Ah,
They've changed
club,
it now.
club
They
level.
want to make more money. Bro.
Now, so now if you change the African Nations Cup to
Same time
end
as
of the
Euro.
season, what happens when they change it again
Yeah,
in
yeah.
5 years?
Mm.
Do we have to change again?
Because FIFA and
Because now the point is you don't even know what is happening next. I mean,
Right.
if someone told us like 5 years ago that Champions League would be like this format,
mess.
we would say never.
It's a mess.
Right. but after that, is this Super League debacle?
They're trying to
Now
make
they are
this
trying to actually expand it so that people get money. So if they keep changing it, and then we want to actually align ourselves, are we going to keep doing it? Right. Now, I think it has been like that. Okay. I think at the end of the day, we just have to develop African football. Right.
I also think, sorry,
Yes.
it will not change because FIFA is trying their best to make sure there's football
during the summer.
all year round, yeah. Which is great,
If you
actually.
check it out, if it's not the Champions League, it's a cup game. If it's not cup game, it's qualifiers. If not qualifiers,
The Asian Cup is always in January, too,
Right, right. It's the same
December,
time.
January.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so-
it's the same
And
time.
the funny thing is, there are
Everybody will
certain
adapt,
clauses with all these Asian boys that they have to go to military. But no club is talking about this thing.
exactly. You see, it's
Right.
an African thing.
There was 1 year that Son,
yeah.
they had to win the
For him
competition.
to avoid. And
For
they
him
lost,
to-
right?
to avoid the
they won
army
actually.
Okay, they won, yeah.
So-
So if you win, that means you're on national
Yeah.
duty. And
So you will not go to the. But if they had lost, he had to go. Yeah, Tottenham was not complaining. But if you lose a player to AFCON, then
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Even
Yeah.
FIFA,
So there's a double
even
standard
made it
there.
easy. If a player gets injured,
Nobody should
representing
care. Let us
his
continue.
country, they get
Yes.
the clubs get compensation for
You
it.
get the
My
compensation.
African brothers think that we are not fairly treated.
100%.
It's how we think it's what's going on.
I think
Yeah.
so too, but I mean, everybody have to do right on their own part as
Yeah.
well.
We keep
Before
fighting, we keep pushing, but yeah, it is what it is.
our time is fast spent, but
Let's fast it again.
who's winning the Premiership this season? Who's winning the Spanish League? Who's winning
Man.
your prediction? Let's start with Peter real quick in the next 30 seconds.
Premiership is dicey. I think it's between Liverpool and Manchester.
Okay, thank you for not mentioning
I'm an Arsenal
Arsenal.
supporter, by the
But
way.
you know the truth and you're very honest
I'm
person.
very realistic.
Okay.
No
But
need
the
today.
Spanish League, what do
Our
you think?
Spanish league, man, it's still quite early to decide. Barca is in top form, clearly
Thank you.
favorite. For
Leave
it.
it- You can leave it at that.
No, anything can happen in
You
football.
can leave it at
they
that.
can lose the next.
How about
Anything can happen in La Liga,
Not
but
for
anything can
Arsenal.
happen in
Anything
football.
cannot happen for
So
Arsenal.
he doesn't believe in his own team.
I believe in my own team. I see.
In the
I can see
Serie
the way we
A,
play.
in the Serie A, what do you think with the situation?
Serie A,
now?
man.
I think
it's,
AC Milan. I don't remember who's.
Atalanta is
Napoli, Inter.
Napoli, Atalanta, Inter.
Yeah, Napoli, Inter.
Juventus with Thiago Motta now, they are really solid.
They are doing well.
Regardless,
What
it's
about
it's
you, Dami?
Napoli,
What's your
Inter.
prediction for the Premiership?
English Premiership, Gunners, Arsenal.
Okay.
Delusional.
La Liga, Barcelona, because Real Madrid is
Thank you for you are honest for the
They don't have a striker
this
right
one
now.
time, and I
Okay.
thank you for that. He said Barcelona in case you didn't hear.
Man,
And the
Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski,
amazing set
they are
that we
now-
have.
Rafinha.
And you know,
my
those
favorite
boys
player.
from La Masia, man.
They are doing great.
Shit.
Yeah, so
Pedri.
Barcelona are definitely for
How about the Serie A?
the Serie A. I want to be biased with the English Premiership. I wasn't biased. It's
I hope-
just-
Indeed.
I think Inter, Atalanta might be.
so I know Arsenal is going to win.
Yeah.
But Syria, I think Atalanta, they are really solid.
They have a solid,
Very,
team,
very solid right now. If you look, man is. So for example, now actually let me quickly. If Atalanta wins Syria
Scudetto.
and then I give Retigui best player.
Yeah, how do you
You
feel?
know, it was the same example. Like if you switch
Yes.
them.
Yeah. It was,
I agree.
Yeah, you see. Thank you
So
very
if
much.
Atalanta should win and they give Retigui, why would you
I
feel?
mean,
And
Leverkusen went unbeaten.
Retigui is on his way to becoming the best player in Atlanta. If they win the league, he's going to be the best player in the league. But they didn't do that for Osimhen. They said it's Kvaratskhelia.
But if you right now,
When Lukman is also hot.
look, The
Look,
beats
ma-
Are
the
you
beats
guys,
Napoli at home.
I think you're looking at it from one side.
It's the same
Because
thing.
with Napoli, I think that guy, I really do believe that guy was
doubt.
more instrumental.
He's
Of
not
course.
that
That's my
I
prediction.
don't remember his
Of
name,
course,
but
you would.
Next.
You would
so
believe
you
that.
don't agree.
Never.
You would believe
Actually,
that.
I'm interested in what he's going to say about Premiership.
Yeah.
You would.
Premiership.
You would.
He's a City fan, so I'm sure he knows City will win it.
He
to
won't.
be
I don't think
honest,
so.
to be
Who
honest,
is winning in City?
I mean,
As a Premiership.
I know who would not win.
Who will not win? Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Thank you very much. I like that. By the way, you follow. I mean, I'm sure you follow Finnish football. Please, having watched Oulu football in Oulu for years, and
Yes.
we are actually in the RC Oulu facility as we speak right
Yes.
now. Thank you to them, for providing this. What do you think RC Oulu needs to do different in order to actually be contenders? Because my problem with them, and I'm saying this as a football fan, as an Oulu football fan, I've been in the system, I know how it goes. They are not consistent with the players. Every year they are new
set of
players.
coming
What do they need to do to be at least top 2 or top 3? That will not be seen Hoyuko every year, Inter Turco every year, and all
Is the
these
coach
people.
still the same coach, or is the coach a new
Actually,
coach?
shout out to Kana Miko Isokangas, my very good friend, who's I think
He's
I
not
don't
the
know
head
if he's
coach, yes.
he's
He's the
he's
head
a
coach now.
coach. Is a coach now.
Yeah. He got a 2-year contract.
Yeah,
2026.
so and I'm very happy with that because I think that will actually change a lot of course, if they let him, do his thing, because he's a really good coach. He coached me at some point too when I was still playing, so he's a really good coach. Shout out to him. But what do you think they need to do to be mentioned?
Man, I have a player in Asiolu, so I'm not gonna say nothing.
Shout out to Sampa, a very good friend of mine, Sampa.
Well, let him answer the prediction.
Okay,
La Liga, what's
please.
the other La Liga?
The La Liga, what do you think?
Atletico Madrid.
Ridiculous. 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 Thank you very much, gentlemen, for this wonderful
God.
episode. We went all over the place, but it was really, really nice to have this conversation. And of course, for the Nigerian league, I'm almost certain that the Canopilas will win it.
Remo's going to win.
I don't know about that.
Remo
Canopilas, I
Stars.
think will win it.
Rangers,
Rangers.
Dami,
Rangers all the
Remo is
way.
very
Dami,
consistent.
you're
Never said that.
you're in the education department. I mean, are there any opportunities that might be there in the educational system now that you think people could take advantage of?
Inside,
For people who would like to migrate, like move from, are there anything? Is there any?
the admission will open in December or January. So
Okay, admissions opening December or
is
January for
opening,
those that are listening to us in Africa or Nigeria.
And you can go to studyportal.fi.
Please study
You will
portal.
see any courses you want to do there, check it out.
Okay,
And you can see the tuition fees there, the
Right.
requirements and everything.
right.
And if you are really, really good, Finland wants you. So
Okay, so you've heard it from those who are there. Please check it out. Finland wants you. Cora,
Yes,
as
sir.
an agent, a young player is listening to you right now.
Yeah.
What should he do, or she? I mean, mostly he, but of course there could be some she's too who are, hoping to take advantage of the new influx of agents in Nigeria. Would you advise a player to actually take the opportunity, if given, to come here?
I mean, it depends. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing.
Right.
But I think the most important thing is to work as hard as possible. Be the best in your area. Right. And be realistic with yourself. Again, I'm saying that again because a lot of people actually, they put themselves on a different pedestal than what they can actually do.
Yeah.
You're not Messi.
Right.
You're not Ronaldo.
Be realistic
Right.
with yourself.
Yeah, so try to be the best version of yourself, and then when the opportunity comes, don't be desperate before you make a decision. Ask as much question as possible. If the person is not ready to answer your question, is not the best person.
It's not the right person for you.
No.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Mr. P. For those people who are asking for money from back home, thinking that there's a tree here where we pluck money, what can you say to them?
EJ, why would you ask me this kind of
Because I was just thinking of what should I ask you to say. For people who are in our country now, thinking that we are in Finland and of course we are plucking money from the tree.
Okay, let me just give all of you a load down. First
Please.
of all, some of us wake up 5 a.m. in the morning.
In the morning,
we go to our
please.
first job. You are still
Yes.
sleeping. We wake up.
We are
5
still at
o'clock.
work.
We go to our first job. When we come back, then we go for the second one.
job
and we
too.
close like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And you go there, they ask for 100,
Please.
100 euro.
And the worst part is you give somebody a little token and
And
they
they'll
say
no,
they are
Leo,
converting it for you.
Like 50 euro if you give me.
I gave somebody asked me money recently, I think 2 days ago. The person asked me for 50,000.
Yeah.
So I said 20 something, no worries. I did. So the guy was like, I didn't even know that this money is only 22, 25 euros. I will ask for more. I said, you see?
That 22, do you know, like maybe that's 1 hour of my work.
Yes, or
something, and
even
I'm
more,
giving it
yeah.
for
Some people, that's
Like
2
1 hour
hours job.
sacrifice.
Please, for our listeners back at home, we know that there's a lot of trouble back in the land. I mean, everybody, each one of us understand that the economy is bad.
You said
But
10
you
or
people have to
something.
understand too that people abroad are working day and night.
Yes,
Nobody is here getting free money. Contrary
jobs.
to what
Yes, sir.
anybody will tell you, people are working hard. 2 jobs. Peter just mentioned it. He has to wake up at 5 a.m., go to one job, go to the next job later.
Yes,
Everybody
sir.
is working hard. And that's how we're able to support. So please,
Yes,
they
sir.
don't,
Whatever
they don't
you
go back.
get.
Then they watch match.
You don't see where that like this.
Then they back.
Yeah, they
watch
see where
match
that-
you
now.
are at the bar watching match. You're
But
waiting
then
for
I'm
Peter
minus
to
5
give you
for-
money. There is no money. So please, you people understand with us. We hope that everything gets better as time goes on. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. I appreciate you for coming. Cora, please, how can people reach you? I know that you have an agency, and please shout the agency out.
Loud it.
You put a link in the bio.
Okay.
Or in the.
Okay,
Okay, I'll put
say
the
it now.
Okay, I'll put the description. I know it's ARC.
website.
It's ARC.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
down
so-
at this point because
Okay,
we're
we'll
doing some
put we'll
upgrade
put
on it,
we'll
so-
put it in the link.
Yes.
We'll put it in the link. That
Put the
is
link
anything
there,
you want to
but-
plug in
yeah.
at this time? Do you want to plug anything in?
Not in Nigeria will be great. Again.
Nigeria will be great again. Amen.
Yeah, for
Najashi,
me-
man.
For me, wait, you don't.
Let
your
let,
website
let
nobody
Peter
come
let
outside.
Peter please let Peter
let me-
plug in
let
his
me
own
loud
thing.
my
Please
business.
Yeah, louder.
loud your business, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sports Perez all the way.
Sports Perez.
It's a YouTube channel. It's a
Nice.
TikTok page.
Please.
I try my best to analyze sports my way.
Analytics, yes.
You may not agree with me, but you still enjoy me.
You're right.
That's
Sports
how we
Perez
go.
on YouTube and on
Yeah, on YouTube
TikTok.
and on TikTok.
Please follow Sports Perez. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for coming.
Shout out to Oscar. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you very
yes,
much.
yes,
Of course, shout out to
Oscar-y.
shout out to our sponsor, and do not forget there is the link in the bio if you want to record podcast, music, whatever it is. Please check them out. Use the promo code EJ for 50% off. Promo code EJ for 50%
To record
off.
with Oscar, right?
Yes, tell Oscar Yarrelin that I sent you over. Thank you very much, EJ. And on that, we are
Signing
out.
You're supposed to say EJ podcast.
Let's go. EJ's podcast. Let's go.